Hi folks, how you all doing? Today I am in sunny Scotland and this is Dundee and this is the V&A Gallery right behind me. So we're going to go inside, take a quick look around, and also, I'm just exploring today. Art galleries are a great source of inspiration, as I pointed out before. From the Tay River here, this actually looks like a ship. I did a brief takeover on Instagram of Drobo's account, being an ambassador of theirs, and we looked around the art gallery in the town I live in, and yeah, we had a lot of fun in there. But yes, today I'm in Dundee, which is my wife's hometown. Today, got a day off, so I thought I'd have a look here at the V&A, which has some absolutely great stuff. I haven't been in yet. Let's go and check this out. The architecture here is absolutely iconic, looks smashing on all fronts. I mean, what's going on inside is one thing, and it really is art. But I have to say, what's going on the outside is equally as stunning. I'm not a real fan of modern architecture by any means, but this really is nice. The V&A actually sits right here on the River Tay. Dundee is beautiful in the fact that it sits here. This river is a beautiful part of its heritage, and the bridge right there as well. So coming through the door, the aesthetics of the building are still very, very present. You can see you're presented with lovely gradients of wood and different things that are showing you how much money is coming into the design gallery, and how many people are patriots of the gallery itself. So I'm expecting to see some really wonderful things. And being an artist myself and a really big tech fan as well, the first thing that I come across is this. Yeah, this one kind of made me laugh quite a lot, in truth. It's a robotic arm blowing bubbles. I don't know if I truly considered this art at all. I'm more of a traditional art fan. Paintings from the 17th, 18th century, but modern contemporary art. It's a robotic arm. You can see that it's actually even being covered up with this material so you can't see the robotics, etc., etc. But it's just pre-programmed to blow bubbles. It's interesting conceptually, but it's a robot arm blowing bubbles. I don't know. It made me smile though. It really did. And it attracted a crowd, lots of people taking photos, etc., etc. There is a concept there, and it's interesting, and there's a piece to read on the wall about it. I don't know, you make your mind up. It kept me interested for a couple of minutes. And the little spinning thing it does to make more bubbles. Like I say, you make your mind up. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Is this art? I personally, it's not what I come to see at a gallery. Whether it's a traditional art gallery or a modern design gallery like the V&A. Personally, so I decided to head off in another direction and see if there was something else here that I could myself consider art. Now, there is the well-discussed idea that anything in a gallery becomes art. I looked around and I saw historical items, clothing, sculpture like this, which I really did like, to be honest. I always liked sculpture though, to be fair. And my eye is always drawn to illustration. I mean, you know that obviously if you've ever seen my work. But if I see anything that I've never seen before, I think this is an elephant. Yeah, pretty sure. But I can just appreciate craftsmanship in general. But I love illustration. let's face it. As long as it's well crafted, I'm particularly happy. But if it's a technique that I've never seen before, if it's technology, I'm generally just very happy. But in a gallery is a space you can place something and people will stop and take notice of it. Even if it's something they've seen 100 times before or seen in their everyday life, they will stop and aesthetically or conceptually appreciate it, and that's the point of a gallery.
So for those of you who never thought you'd see the day, comic books in an art gallery. There you go. Well, a design gallery. So yeah. And why is that exactly? Well, that's because comic books in Scotland are and have always been a major thing. In fact, Dundee is the home of many great comic books and comic book artists. So there you go. I'll cover this maybe in another video. But yeah, so here you go. Comic books in a design gallery. Many of you maybe thought you'd never see that, but there you go.
I was piloting Black Ops missions in the jungles of North Vietnam where you were sucking on your mama's tit at Woodstock, Kelly. Don't lecture me about war. This already is a war.
Dundee, and in fact Scotland, obviously best known for comic books like The Beano with Dennis the Menace and The Dandy with Desperate Dan, but obviously there's a lot of other talent that comes out, comic book writers like Mark Miller and artists as well that create a lot of other titles like the ones you can see here, working on Superman, DC titles, Marvel titles, and a lot of independent. There's also animations that come out of Scotland, like The Illusionist, which they actually had on monitors here, and they also had a lot of the concept art as well. This was a Sony production film that came out around 2010, and this was really interesting that they had some of the original sketches as well for us to see. And that was really nice, actually. They had a lot of the production artwork on the walls. You could put some headphones on and watch the actual film. Some really nice pieces here. I have to say that I was very pleasantly surprised to have seen comic books and animation within an art gallery. Well, like I say, a design gallery. Maybe the two are very, very different, but obviously in Leeds, where I live, we don't have a design gallery. Maybe that's something I would very much like to see. I've got to say that these pieces did attract a lot of attention from certain people. For some people, maybe not. But for where it was in the gallery, it seemed to be tucked away in a corner. But yes, certain people seem to spend a lot of time looking at the animations, looking at the comic books. It did trail into some production art for plays and playhouses as well, for theatrical designs, and then it went off into costumes and into fashions, etc. Got a bit woolly around the edges, but the theatrical designs I liked as well. There was some really nice stuff there in terms of set designs and so on and so forth. Personally, I didn't feel these were the same, but I kind of got where the gallery was going on this one. Although I do feel that they are two completely different audiences, I do know how they mesh together. Then it led into architecture. Now I know set design, architecture, however, I didn't care because I love architectural models. There's something in me, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I wanted to do architecture when I was a kid. So yeah, little models. I don't know why. I'm always fascinated by them. Absolutely love and adore architectural design. I just realized when I was a kid that my maths is really bad, and when I was a kid, if you wanted to do that for a living, you had to have good maths. These days you don't, because the computers do it all for you. Anyway. The design gallery had a nice book collection. I already have too many. But it's there, and they had some really nice choices that I maybe haven't seen before and wouldn't have expected. They also have designers in resident studios. There was nobody to ask about this, unfortunately, but I would have liked to have known more about that and who their designers were. I did sneak in and have a bit of a look around some of the rooms, but nobody around. And there's also a model of the RRS Discovery, which is actually docked outside the gallery, which you did see right at the beginning of the video, if you remember. So here's something nice that I didn't spot straight away in the design museum, which is a car from almost beginning to end, and they've got an explainer here on the TV. But what it is here you go, you can see the foam on the back here, and then the clay workout. So basically you build your car from, you know, the concept sketches out of foam, then the clay overlay, you can see they've roughed it out, and then the clay itself is sculpted, then just, you know, more of a mock-up done in the paints, etc, etc. Then the finished car here, and you can see how lovely the actual finished Jaguar is. I've got to say, I've never been a car person. See the whole finished car there on that side, but I've never been a car person. I don't drive, I'm epileptic, but yeah, I do have an appreciation for the guys who hand sculpt cars out of clay. It is an artwork. It really is. To get that level of finish on a car, it is absolutely beautiful. And seeing this up close, I've seen videos, obviously, you know, snippets on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn is obviously a great place to see that kind of video, but actually seeing it up close, yeah, that's another reason to visit a design museum such as the V&A here in Dundee. So that is absolutely beautiful, and it's nice to even see the foam underneath it as well and see exactly how it's done. And you can see there it's actually layers of foam rather than just one solid block. Obviously they've got all the footage from beginning to end on the video, but it's much nicer just to see it in real life. It's actually wooden blocks on the bottom. So there you go. From beginning to end, some kind of metal frame there, just right underneath that. But yeah, there you go. Beginning to end. I'll just step back and let you see the entire thing. That is very cool. Just another thing here at the V&A in Dundee. So I enjoyed that a lot, but there's actually another gallery right in town just up the road. And while I enjoy the modern art and yes, the modern design of this gallery, I actually am a very traditional guy. So let's take a trip up to the McManus Gallery, which is just up the road there, and check out the more traditional paintings and that gallery there. A couple of minutes, let's have a look.